Hello and welcome to Starbase Texas, or what we here at SpaceX like to call the Gateway to Mars. I'm Amanda Lee, a build reliability engineer at SpaceX.
And I am Dan Hewitt with SpaceX Communications. Everybody, welcome back to Starbase. If you've been following along, today is going to mark the third attempt to get our 10th Starship flight test off the ground. First one was back on Sunday. We stood down then to troubleshoot an issue with some of our ground systems, had a leaky hose. We replaced that, got to our attempt yesterday, lost our battle with the weather gods and some anvil clouds in the area, but we're hoping the third time is the charm.
Yeah, fingers crossed for sure.
Yeah, so at the moment, we are actively loading propellant onto the vehicles. Our engineers are on console, monitoring the vehicle, all of the systems as we count down to liftoff. Prop load is underway. We are looking better on the weather this time, good on the range, and we are targeting the very beginning of our window at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Our objectives for today, really with the ship, are going to look very similar to the last couple of launches, looking to deploy those Starlink simulator satellites, fly a whole bunch of experiments during Starship's reentry, testing the limits of its heat shield and its flaps. Ultimately, we want to see ship do controlled descent, soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean. That's really what we're looking for today. Regardless of the outcome, though, goal is always to collect as much data as possible. That gets us one step closer to a fully operational Starship.
That's right, and either way, flight tests guarantee the maximum level of excitement, and Starship will allow us to fly the heaviest payloads ever flown and ultimately fly humans further into space than ever before, even all the way to Mars, as we always talk about. Our progress here at SpaceX is measured by getting closer to establishing a self-sustaining civilization on Mars, and these are the flights that are forging that path.
That's right. Now, a whole bunch has happened to get us to this 10th flight test. We're not going to go all the way back to the beginning, but we're going to start with Starship's 9th flight test, which lifted off in May. That one did end with what we call a rapid unscheduled disassembly, or a RUD, on both the ship and booster. Let's take a quick trip back.
So Flight 9 marked the first reflight of a super heavy booster. We saw successful hot staging and the first ever deterministic flip, which gives us extra performance. The reused booster was flown at a much higher angle of attack to push the envelope on capabilities. This did end up causing some internal structural failure, eventually leading to a rapid unscheduled disassembly at landing burn.
Ship, though, continued its ascent. While it was going, though, we saw pressure dropping in the main fuel tank, rising in the nose cone. In this view, you can see pop. The fuel diffuser inside the pressurization system, we had a hole develop. The ship still managed to complete its ascent burn, got to its planned velocity, got to second stage engine cutoff. Really huge moment.
After that, though, we did run into some issues with attitude control, which eventually led us to skipping the payload deploy and Raptor relight demos. Starship eventually re-entered the atmosphere in an off-nominal attitude, and communication was unfortunately lost approximately 46 minutes into the flight test during entry, but not before we got one heck of a light show.
That's right. Looking forward to another one today. The booster RUD, we went back and looked at it. That was caused we had a much higher than predicted forces on the booster structure, really honing in on that internal fuel transfer tube inside. That was all due to that angle of attack experiment we were running for today's flight, and any of the remaining ones on this version of the booster. We're just lowering the angle of attack for the booster as it comes in, relaxes those forces, minimizes the likelihood that we see that kind of structural failure.
Yeah, and then over on the ship side, we redesigned the part of the fuel pressurization system that failed on Flight 9. We put it through a more rigorous test campaign and subjected it to flight-like stresses, and eventually we were able to actually run it for more than 10 times the expected service life with no damage, which was super exciting. Yeah. Our goal is always, of course, to make it through all of the objectives we set, but any result that teaches us more about Starship performing in the real-world environment helps us to make those targeted iterations and improve quickly.
Yeah, that's kind of been the secret to our success. That's how we developed Falcon 1, our first rocket. That's how we developed Falcon 9, which we've already flown more than 100 times just this year. A little insane, and 500 flights overall.
Yeah, super exciting for Falcon 9. And again, we're trying to follow their lead and launch, learn, and repeat.
Yeah, so we finished Flight 9. We were getting ready for Flight 10, and if you followed along, we originally had a different ship number 36, that was slated to fly on Flight 10, but that experienced a pretty major anomaly during its static fire test out at our Massey's test site. We were actually in its second static fire, a 6 engine. We were loading cryogenic propellant on board. We saw a sudden energetic event, complete loss of Starship, damage to the stand, and some of the immediate area surrounding it.
The most likely root cause that we were able to identify was undetectable or underscreen damage to a composite overwrapped pressure vessel, or COPV, in Starship's payload base section. To address this probable cause, we are operating the COPVs on Starship at a lower pressure and also implemented additional proofs and inspection methods.
Meanwhile, though, got to maintain our launch schedule, got to keep testing, so we pivoted to actually using the launch pad, the same one we're stacked on right now, to do ship static fire tests, something we had never done before. A retrofit was the fastest path to get back to flying. The team was able to engineer, implement a solution. We used a ship transport ring, sawed some stuff off, welded some stuff on. We're able to mount the ship, load propellant using what we usually use for the booster, and then do 2 different static fires on that orbital launch mount, doing that in a matter of weeks.
Yeah, it was really an incredible turnaround to see. And the static fires did give us the data we needed to progress to launch and are a prime example of our engineer and technician teams working together to build creative solutions to keep us charging forward to bring Starship online.
Even while we did all of that, we're still in the process of rebuilding that Massey's test site. It's where we want to continue testing our ships in the future, and we're getting it ready for that next generation of Starship version 3.
Yeah, very excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the rocket on the pad currently. Starship is the first orbital launch vehicle engineered to be fully reusable. It's built for frequent flights and a significant amount of payload.
It is the largest rocket ever made, ever flown, largest flying object in human history. It's going to be the vehicle that enables our foundational mission to eventually bring humans to Mars. I recently, just yesterday, got a chance to do a deep dive into kind of everything big picture Starship. Had some special guests, Elon Musk and Bill Riley. Let's take a look back. We're about to launch the largest flying object ever made, but this isn't on the radar for everybody, and we know that. So we want to kind of take a beat, pull back, do a little bit of Starship 101. To do that, I've got some special guests crashing the webcast today. Joining me now in Star Factory, Elon Musk, Chief Engineer at SpaceX, Bill Riley, our VP of Starship Engineering. Thanks for being here, guys. I know we got a rocket about to get off the pad, but let's start people off like high level. Like, why are we here? What the hell are we doing here?
Well, I don't know about everybody, but I'm here to try to build into the future that I imagined and dreamed of as a child, where starships with people are out among the stars exploring the universe.
Yeah, so the why, it's always important to explain the why of things. And the why of Starship is that we want to be a multi-planet species to extend consciousness beyond Earth, I think for 2 main reasons. One is to ensure the long-term survival and prosperity of life as we know it in consciousness, which if we are a multi-planet species and ultimately a multi-stellar species out there among the stars, the probability of survival is much, much longer. That's kind of the, defensive aspect or life insurance for life collectively. But then there also need to be things that are inspiring and exciting and that give you reason to live. Life cannot just be about solving one tragic problem after another. There must be also reasons to get up in the morning and be excited about the future. And a future where we are a space-faring civilization is infinitely more exciting than one where we are not.
And we're doing it all pretty unique location. I mean, the pad's behind us. We got rocket on the tower. We got another tower with it. We're sitting inside Star Factory. And I mean, it wasn't like this for very long. This is all pretty brand new.
Yeah, I think we moved Starship here in about the early part of 2019, so we've been coming that entire time and seeing the site evolve from a double-wide trailer and a tent where we built Starhopper to the first suborbital test flights, and now we have behind us 2 towers for the first time as we build towards the first operational flight from the second tower at the end of this year, and this beautiful building, million square feet, where we're able to work towards a production line of Starships.
Yeah, the SpaceX team has done an incredible job of building out really the most advanced rocket manufacturing facility that has ever existed. This is far beyond any rocket fabrication facility that has ever been built. This is essentially alien-level technology, and it was all built here basically down by the Rio Grande River, and close to the beach. It's an incredibly improbable location, and this used to be a sandbar. I think we're about 3 feet or about a meter above sea level. It really was nothing. If you see the time lapse from sandbar to two launch towers and a gigantic rocket factory with high bays, and we're going to be building something called the Gigabay, which is like one of the largest enclosed volumes on Earth. So it's sort of like a gigantic Borg cube that we're going to be building here for building and storing these gigantic rockets. It's really spectacular, and anyone can come and visit. So because we're on a public highway, and we're literally by a public beach, you can actually come and see the rocket. You quite close up. I mean, you can drive past it, and you can also look at the factory. And anyone can do this from anywhere in the world. So if you can come and visit and check it out. I think it's pretty cool that it's
just not right now.
Just not right now.
Just not right now.
Obviously not when we're launching because there's some safety issues, but the rocket's often just sitting on the pad without any propellant in it, and then you can just come here and visit. It's very easy.
Yeah, I think it's a really special place. Yesterday, the ship went down the road behind us, and I saw families outside on Sunday going for their Sunday stroll, and they were greeted by Starship going down. And I think that from the very beginning, the thing about Starship, different than Falcon and other rockets that I'm aware of, is we designed it to be mass-produced and mass-produced at scale. And it's not about building one Starship and getting to orbit once. It's about doing it in a sustained and rapid way.
Yeah, we're aiming for ultimately thousands of ships to be built per year, which is what's needed in order to construct a city on Mars that is self-sustaining. And the major fork in the road of destiny will be when the Mars city is capable of surviving, even if the resupply ships from Earth stop coming for any reason. And that reason could be something cataclysmic, or it could be that that civilization simply subsided. There's always this debate throughout history of will civilization end with a bang or a whimper. But either way, if the critical thing is to get to the point where Mars is self-sustaining and can survive even if the resupply ships stop coming for any reason, which means that you need to build an entire base of industry on Mars in order for Mars to survive. For example, it's not simply enough to build a chip, like a computer chip factory, but you need the ability to build computer chip factories. So this is going to really take a lot of tonnage. I mean, my guess is at least 1 million tons to the surface of Mars, and maybe it takes less than that, but it's going to be a lot. But this is a very exciting future. It's one which will ensure the long-term survival and prosperity of life and consciousness, and it's the critical stepping stone to get from this solar system to other star systems, and perhaps go out there and explore, and perhaps we'll encounter alien civilizations that maybe they're alive now, or maybe they enjoyed a period of prosperity for millions of years, but also died out millions of years ago. So it's humbling to think of the age of the universe, according to the standard model of physics, being approximately 13.8 billion years old. So an incremental million years would be 3 digits past the decimal point. And if you look at, say, our civilization and measure our civilization by the first evidence of writing, which is about 5,500 years ago, civilization as measured from the first writing is only 1/1,000,000th of Earth's existence.
Or blip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flash in the pan so far.
Yeah. Well, we're getting some cool shots. Rocket out on the pad right now. We tell people, like, come down, see it. It's hard to get, like, a sense of scale of just how massive this thing is. And we were able to catch somebody working on it a little while ago. And, like, part of the reason you said we're sending millions of tons, that's kind of why this thing is so massive.
I think in this image, Dan, you can actually see the person working at the bottom of the ship, and as we zoom out, you see the full ship, that sort of two-tone silver and black, and then the booster below it, right? And it really sets the scale, which doesn't come across, I think, other than in person. And when I do tours, I like to say Starship is real, Starship is big, and Starship is really big. And I think you can see there, And with the factory shots you saw earlier, again, we've got Flight 10 on the pad, but we got many more behind it.
Yeah, so I posted a video yesterday of just a brief scan of part of the Starship factory, and you can get a sense of the scale of the factory. Yeah, I guess we could talk a bit about why Starship is the way it is. Like, for example, why is half of the ship black and half of it is silver colored? And that's because the bottom half of the ship, the bottom as seen from orbital entry, has a heat shield on it. So the black there is the heat shield, and then the core structure of the rocket is a special alloy of stainless steel, and that's where you see the sort of shiny silver parts are stainless steel. The reason for steel over aluminum is that the heat of atmospheric entry and the heat of the rocket engines is enough to easily melt aluminum, but steel is much more resilient against both ascent heating, but especially the reentry heating. And you don't have to paint it, which is actually very difficult to paint a large object that is going through cryogenic cycles and have the paint stay on. It's quite challenging.
And so we've talked about it. It's massive. It obviously takes a whole lot of energy to make that thing move. And that's where Raptor really starts to come in. Most advanced engine on the planet. Giant
yes.
lightsaber.
No, that's a lightsaber and a half. You would get vaporized in an instant if you were standing in front of Raptor. So, yeah, burnt to a crisp in less than a second. So in order to create a fully reusable orbital rocket, you have to advance the state of the art in every part of the rocket. That means the engines have to be better than any engine ever. The structure's got to be better than any structure ever. You've got to have a means of bringing the rocket back to the launch pad. You've got to have a fully reusable orbital heat shield, and that no one has ever made a fully reusable orbital heat shield. The space shuttle, for example, required 9 months of refurbishment between flights. So the space shuttle heat shield would come back essentially partially broken and would require many months of refurbishment in order to fly again. What we're trying to achieve here with Starship is to have a heat shield that can be flown immediately. So the ship, both the ship and the booster, would be caught by the tower arms, and the booster would be placed immediately back on the launch stand, and the ship's got to orbit Earth at least once, but then could be back potentially in one orbit, but in most cases several orbits. So the ship would come back several hours later, but then be caught by the arms and placed on top of the booster. You can also have multiple ships ready so that a single booster could service 5 or more ships, so that you could be flying the booster in theory, every hour. This is kind of a profoundly fast speed, obviously, for the largest flying object by far ever made. But it's the reason why we catch the booster with the tower arms, and the ship also will be caught with the tower arms, because that's the fastest way to get the booster and the ship back to flight. If we had instead put landing legs, which we have done before for the ship tests, we actually had landing legs that flipped down, and we've successfully demonstrated landing with legs. But if you do that, if we were to do that with the booster and the ship, here we'd have to land somewhere else with the legs, then lift the rocket, stow the legs, transport the rocket back to the pad, which is very unwieldy when you've got a gigantic thing. Then it would be picked up by these tower arms and placed in the launch mount. That would delay the reusability dramatically and would add a lot of mass with the landing legs. So that's why we catch the rocket with the tower arms, because it's the same tower arms that put the rocket in the launch mount are used to catch the rocket. And that means that we can put the booster back in the launch mount in less than an hour after liftoff. In fact, the booster is going to come back very fast. Like, 5 or 6 minutes later, this booster is coming back one way or another, or not coming back. So then you really have propellant full time, which can be brought down to about 30, 40 minutes, and that means it is theoretically possible to fly the booster again in less than an hour.
I think when I think about it, it's the jet drives up to the jetway, the people get off, new people get on, and it leaves. You don't want to land the jet on a different airfield and then tow it over to the jetway. So it's just operationally simpler and faster.
Yeah, we've had a lot of success with the booster, 3 for 3 on the catch attempts. When we bring it back, we've reflown one, so awesome. And then again, Starship superpowers, the whole thing is reusable. So ship reusability is like what we're working on right now. We've been able to get some really spectacular re-entries on a couple of flights, hoping to get this one for re-entry on the V2 ship. But yeah, that fully reusable heat shield, that thing that has just never been done before, that's one of the things we're really looking for that data on.
Yeah, I mean, there are thousands of engineering challenges that remain for both the ship and the booster, but maybe the single biggest one is the reusable orbital heat shield. We are confident in making a fully reusable orbital heat shield, but it will require many flights, many iterations to figure out where the weak points are in the heat shield, where we need to change the design, either strengthening the tile or changing how big the gap is between tiles, changing what's underneath the tile. There's 100 different variables that we could tweak with the ship tiles, the heat shield tiles. But the only way to know exactly what we should be adjusting is to fly repeatedly and be able to examine the ship upon landing. And we have successfully brought the ship back through the atmosphere and achieved a soft landing multiple times. So we know that this is possible, but we have in the process shed many heat shield tiles. So we need to be able to do this without shedding heat shield tiles and do so repeatedly.
And I think what you're seeing now is the Starship. This is CG of it coming in and landing on the tower, much like the booster, but there's some additional challenges there where we need to make sure we don't scrape the tiles off as we slide along the chopstick
We can't
arms.
shuck the heat shield.
Don't crush the ship.
Rapid reusability.
If we shuck the tiles, then that's obviously going to fail the reusability test.
So ships can use the tower to land and catch, like the booster here on Earth where towers are available. And for our initial landings on Mars and other planets, we'll need landing legs that deploy much like what you're seeing here with Ship 15 when we did our suborbital test to prove out the precision descent landing, which was a successful test. We actually landed to one we were able to actually recover it, and you can see it here in the Rocket Garden if you visit Starbase.
Yeah, so the Rocket Garden that Bill mentioned, we have actually a whole bunch of boosters and ships, and we'll be adding to them over time. So you can see an evolution of Starship just by driving down the highway.
Yeah, so reusability is key. There's some other technologies we're still looking to prove out. Really big one is going to be the on-orbit refilling. Looking to do that next year, and that's really what's going to kind of unlock, Starship going everywhere else, going everywhere beyond Earth. And that's something that's, again, never been done before, kind of like that reusable orbital heat shield, but it's going to be something that's kind of some of the other secret sauce to Starship, where we're going to be able to send hundreds of tons per ship to Mars.
Yeah, I like to think of it as if we get to orbit with a full cargo bay, but we're empty on fuel and oxygen. So basically, we're running on fumes. Then we send other ships to dock, transfer propellant, and now we made our two-stage rocket look like a many, many multi-stage rocket. And we get all of that performance, and we can take that full cargo bay now wherever we want to go.
Yeah, so a crucial technology that we hope to demonstrate next year is this orbital refilling, much like aerial refueling. It's essential for being able to send significant payload to Mars. So you essentially send a ship to orbit with a few hundred tons of payload, sort of a filled payload bay. But once it gets to orbit, the tanks will be mostly empty. And then you send up additional tanker ships to refill the Mars ship's tank so that it can thrust from Earth orbit to Mars and have enough propellant left for landing. So this is orbital refilling is also not something that's ever been demonstrated before. So that would be a brand new technology. We obviously have at SpaceX figured out how to dock repeatedly with the space station. So in a lot of ways, this is like docking, and in some ways it's easier in that SpaceX is docking with its own craft, but no one has ever demonstrated propellant transfer in orbit, to the best of our knowledge, and so this would be propellant transfer at a very large scale, and but with full reusability and propellant transfer, those are the key technologies needed for building a city on Mars, and I'm confident that the SpaceX team, which is incredibly talented, will achieve these goals, and we will be landing ships on Mars in the future and building life on Mars, building greenhouses and life on Mars, and ensuring the long-term survival of life as we know it. And it's important to note here that obviously, we are effectively stewards of life here on Earth. That the other creatures cannot build spacecraft and get to other planets. So if there were to be a cataclysmic event, like a giant meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs, or ultimately the sun will expand to envelop Earth and destroy all life, we know this is an undisputed fact. Then if we don't take life to another planet, life will be destroyed. So it's incumbent upon us to ensure that we do bring life to other planets and ensure the long-term survival of life as we know it on planet Earth.
And I mean, aside from that, there's so much that Starship unlocks by being able to do these things. Like, we'll be able to go to Mars, but there are other just transformational things by being able to take that many people, that much stuff to space for that much less money.
Yeah, I mean, I think like understanding our planet better, being able to move people around the planet, make it feel smaller and more accessible. You could go anywhere on the Earth, in less than 40 minutes, basically, in terms of flight time. So I really do see Starship as being this thing that can connect us, just like Starlink connects our information. This can connect us more physically.
Yeah. So there's really nothing faster than a rocket. Really, an orbital rocket is the fastest thing that we know of of the fastest means of transport. So, like, you could go from LA to Sydney in less than half an hour. You could go LA to Tokyo in less than half an hour. You could go from New York to Singapore in half an hour. Everything's roughly half an hour, basically. Some things might be 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, yeah, sign me up for that, please. All right, cool.
Across the Atlantic in 10 minutes, no problem.
Please, yes, sign me up.
You're going 25 times the speed of sound, so that's 30 times faster than a commercial aircraft.
And it's a whole hell of a lot better view.
Yeah, it's a hell of a view.
Yeah. All right, cool. Anything else, guys? Anything else?
Well,
you're really excited about
we could
coming
say
out?
a lot more.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go check in on the rocket and get on
All right,
console.
we're going to go back on console to hopefully the weather supports a launch tonight. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for your support.
All right. Obviously, that was really cool. There's probably not anybody else cooler on the planet to talk Starship with. Still very ready to sign up for that point-to-point travel too. Also, though, it's really hard to relay just how much power is being generated by these engines on this rocket. We try to compare it to something like a little bit closer to home for people. We've used an airplane a lot of times. That's just something a little more tangible to folks.
Yeah, if you were to stack Starship up against one of the biggest airplanes out there today, the 747, just one Raptor engine is double the thrust of all 4 airplane engines. Super crazy to think about. And the Super Heavy on the pad right now, which has 33 Raptor engines, is putting out as much power as about 64 747s.
Yeah, it's, again, just a tremendous amount of power. World's largest flying object. It's crazy. And again, that was really cool to just go through that. I love to geek out as much as everybody else over all the nitty gritty, but always important to remember there's a lot of people that just don't know that all of this is happening. So it's cool to remind them, cool for everybody else out there to help us spread that word. All right, So right now we are 17 minutes, 12 seconds, and until the Starship
We're back.
test. While we do
Why
have
is
a
it so much
moment,
louder?
let's check in over with
Why did my
Tyler
audio go back up?
over in Hawthorne
Okay, there we
for
go.
the
We're
latest
good.
on Starlink. How's it going, Tyler?
Thanks, Dan and Amanda. I'm Tyler
We back.
Langquist, and I'm a
Again.
Starlink business
For the
analyst here
third
at SpaceX.
time.
Starlink is
At
SpaceX's
12:15.
low-Earth orbit, high-speed internet that's bringing connectivity both on Earth and in space. Now, for today's mission, Starship is outfitted with
Whenever
4
I,
channels, allowing us to get live views of ships
whenever
while
I
in orbit
stream
and all the
on
way down to splashdown in the
TikTok
in-between.
at the same time,
Our Starlink
usually,
satellites are built in
it
Redmond,
works perfectly
Washington,
fine.
which is also where we monitor the
This
health of the
time,
entire
TikTok
constellation.
decided to
So,
not
let's
let
take
me
a quick
stream,
look
so
for
I have
on
to
Redmond.
use their own launcher.
What a lot of people might not realize when they think about the scale that we're operating.
So now everything's... The stream that's on TikTok right now is literally just a display capture of my screen. So if I go into Streamlabs, you'll see me if I go to move stuff around. Because that's how I have to do it. Goddamn TikTok. Usually it's perfectly fine. I don't know why it didn't do this time. Then my live access was suspended through Streamlabs, so I have to use their launcher.
So we have these laser links that are connected between the satellites, so each satellite can pass data from one to the other. That is what allows us to have these hundreds of gigabit links between satellites, and that's what allows us to connect every corner of
Hopefully,
the
this time, we get something.
low latency internet.
Don't have to do this another time. Or I'm gonna lose it.
When you think about that Starlink that you have at home, the
I've been sitting here for the last like 40 minutes, waiting and watching. I'm waiting a bit more.
We use what are called phased array antennas, which is a fancy way of describing an antenna that's made up of many little antennas that work together in order to direct their energy to a specific spot on the ground without a motor.
64 747s is the same amount of power as this.
Manufacturing is a very slow process. It takes people weeks or months to build a satellite. At SpaceX, we iterate very fast, and we have learned how to build satellites
oh,
at the
keep
7
turning off my phone.
a week rate.
Let me look at the TikTok chat.
As we have focused a lot on production rate, we have not forgotten about our satellite reliability, which is
There we go.
critical to our mission.
If you look at the whole world and you ask, where is the satellite industry? It's right here in the USA, in Redmond, where the vast majority of satellites being built are being built right here. Starlink is a truly game-changing technology, and it's all supported by the global satellite constellation from this space here in Redmond.
I'd love to see one of them Starlink trade. Like, you wouldn't know because
And
it's
we're really
curtain
just
cider,
getting
but
started at the
they're
very
pretty cool.
beginning of what we want to do with Starlink.
Now, as we mentioned earlier in the
I
show,
was just
one of
staring
today's
into the
objectives
soul
is
of the
for
camera.
Ship to deploy Starlink simulator satellites that represent the advanced V3 satellites Starship will be launching in the future. And as you can see here, once Starship reaches a nominal
I still
orbit,
find it weird that
payload
the front
door will
flaps
slowly
are,
begin to open
like the
to
forward
prepare for
flaps are
deployment.
still off
The
to
Starlink satellites will be
the aft
dispatched
flaps.
relatively quickly, one at a time, like a Pez dispenser, as you can see.
You can
on the
tell it's a
screen.
script when they
They'll be
read the
situated
exact
on one
same
long
things the
stem,
day before.
taking up as little space as possible, allowing for an efficient deployment sequence. Once a set of Starlinks are deployed, the next set advances and deploys until they are all drifting away from Starship to prepare for their on-orbit life.
Trying to like
Each Starlink V3 launch on
adjust
Starship
the
is planned to
TikTok
add
stream a
60
little bit.
terabits per second of capacity to the Starlink network. That's more than 20 times the capacity added with every V2 mini launch on Falcon 9. So we're talking about a massive increase in performance
it'll
all
let me.
around, which will
Not
ultimately
really.
enable
Love that.
Starlink to serve
Oh,
as
yeah?
the communications backbone of the missions
Let me do
to the Moon
this.
and to Mars. So for now, we're going to turn it back over to the team at Starbase.
Sure, that should work.
Thank you so much, Tyler.
That
Okay,
didn't
let's
work.
turn our attention to today's flight profile, which will feel familiar because it is. We're
How about
looking to
this?
get our
Does that work?
first re-entry with this iteration
That
of
kind
ship,
of works.
and we're again intentionally stressing super heavy during its return.
Nah, it's fine.
The next generation booster is on the horizon, so the objective is to push and learn
One
all we can
more
from this current
Flight
version.
of V2.
All right, let's jump right in. As always, it's going to start with liftoff. Super Heavy ignites 33 engines lifting off from Starbase and ascending. It's going to power that ascent for about 2.5 minutes until we get to hot stage separation.
They had what,
Super
3
Heavy shuts down
flights?
all but re-engines.
With
Deeply throttles
V2
the
ship,
remaining ones. Stage 2 lights its
none of them have gotten
flies
to
away.
re-entry.
We have stage separation and directional
And they have
flip.
one more
It's gonna
flight with it, and
descend.
then
We're
they're
gonna
using the
do
next
some
one.
landing burn experiments and then do a splashdown in the Gulf.
Meanwhile, ship continues on.
18
with its
minutes in
descent
is when
burn,
they're
again
doing
reaching
the
a planned
payload
suborbital
deploy
trajectory. We'll attempt
demo.
to deploy 8 Starlink simulator satellites and then head back for re-entry, where we'll be testing
Off the coast
multiple
of
experiments,
Australia.
including missing tiles, metallic tiles, and intentionally loading the vehicle's flaps. Ship
Gotta
will
have some
also
good
attempt a
cameras out
flip
there.
maneuver, and if all goes as planned today, we'll conclude the test with a soft water splashdown in the Indian Ocean. So that's what we have on deck for Flight 10, which is just about 11 minutes 40 seconds from launching.
Hopefully.
That's right. And so just a quick
What's the weather like?
check-in. So as you said, we're about 11 and a half minutes away. We have some good news.
Dan has his voice back
We
at
got our
least.
latest range and weather status.
Oh,
and
it was 55.
surprise, everything is looking green today.
Thank
so
goodness.
Finally.
that's the biggest news that
At
we're
long
looking for.
last.
Again, weather is the main watch item for today, but we are green
Again.
right now. We're not tracking any issues with the vehicle or ground systems.
Ah,
we're
there's a
looking
graphic
pretty
we
good for
want.
launch. We did all of our normal pre-flight
Hell
checkouts
yeah.
with all the different vehicle and pad systems.
I love this
very moment,
this graphic.
We're almost
This
done.
it
We're
goes.
pretty far into our prop load on ship, and a little bit more to go on the booster.
I wonder, like
Yep,
the
looking
engineers, like the
closely,
API
it looks
engineers
like we're
that are
nearly closed out on
specifically
ship,
just
like
for
Dan said,
streams,
about
where they
70%
make
of the
this
way
so it
through
goes into
on
their
both
systems and
methane
like
and logs
updates
on
properly.
The booster side.
And with
We'll
these,
continue
it's also
loading
there to
prop
put like
for
all their
while. We'll
sensors
close
into a
out
stream.
About T minus 30 minutes 20 second on ship, and then 30 seconds later we'll finish up loading prop on the booster.
Yeah, so bottom line, a little over 10 minutes to go. Range is green, weather is green, vehicles looking healthy. We're looking good to launch right at the top of our window at 6:30 p.m. Central Time.
And the first
Can't
time it's
wait.
not been pushed at
Alright,
all.
now let's quickly
Great
talk
sign.
about Mars, since everything we do is part of our foundational mission to get to the Red Planet. Each Starship launch is to learn more and more about what's needed to make life multiplanetary and to improve ship to the point where it's taking
They used to have
millions of people
overlays
to Mars.
that go
We've
over the
shared
camera
plan
and show the
previously
fuel.
in the last couple
I
of
wish they
months,
still
we're
have
looking to start sending the very first Starships to Mars next year. These missions, not with people. We're just looking minimally viable landers. So let's just prove that we can get
It'd be
there.
cool to see when
And
they have
so we're
cameras
just gonna
on
focus on learning as much
Optimus,
as
though,
possible,
step
looking
out.
at all of those different phases. You know, prop load, prop transfer on orbit, sending
Yeah, I
stuff
gotta
out to Mars,
turn
doing the transit,
my
doing the entry,
mic up on
and just
TikTok.
doing a landing.
And in our next window, around 2028 to 2029, we're going to attempt to land the initial infrastructure and start delivering more equipment as well, while evaluating available resources on the Red Planet. And we will also have Optimus on board for the ride, who is designed to do the initial heavy lifting.
Well, looks like we're doing some.
I wonder whether they
checkouts
put it in
real
like
quick
a
on the ship as we are coming up
in like a
on
crew version where
4
Optimus
minutes.
actually sits down
Back to Mars,
where the crew
though,
were. They're just
as
gonna
those
toss him in the
wrap up
cargo bay.
by about 2030, 2031. We'll continue to
That would be
increase the
kinda
payload
funny.
per ship, build out more infrastructure out there on Mars's surface, start to mine some of those resources, set up some propellant generation plants, build
No,
up some
TikTok, you
fuel
can
and
deal
some
with the bad
oxidizers,
mic.
send
I don't
starships
care.
back from Mars. By the time we get all the way to 2033, we're looking at double the amount of
Of
payload we're
course,
sending
of
from each
course.
ship as we get closer and closer to building a self-sustaining presence on the Red Planet.
Yeah, definitely lots of exciting missions ahead of us.
That'll be
and these are going to
crazy.
be crucial to setting up what we'll need for humans to eventually inhabit the planet, and we won't be doing this alone. The Italian Space Agency and SpaceX recently signed a first-of-its-kind agreement to carry Italian experiments on the first Starship missions to deliver customer payloads to Mars. So these payloads will include a plant growth experiment, a weather monitoring station, and also a radiation sensor to gather scientific data during Starship's approximately 6-month interplanetary coast phase from Earth to Mars, and also on the Martian surface.
It's a really exciting mission. Make showing up for work really fun for us. We're going to need to launch a whole lot more, though. So while we're just under 8 minutes away from launch today, let's head back over to Tyler and Hawthorne, talk a little bit about how we're going to be increasing the number of Starship launches going forward. Tyler?
Thank you, Dan and Amanda. So to put it plainly, in order to launch more Starships, we need to build more launch pads. And that's exactly what we're doing at Space Launch Complex 37 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida.
That
Pad 37
is
has a storied history, most recently with the Delta IV rocket and for the missions for the
booster.
US government. And
Yeah,
prior
you can
to
kind
that,
of see the
the pad
grid fin there.
supported critical development of the
booster.
Apollo lunar program in the 1960s. and we are honored to have the opportunity to continue making spaceflight history at Pad 37 with Starship. But first, we need to optimize the pad. So earlier this year, we started dismantling some of the existing infrastructure to prep the site for Starship operations. This will include up to 76 launches a year, with up to 152 landings at that location for Super Heavy and for Starship. And to support this flight rate, we plan on building 2 launch pads. Each will have 1 tower that can support launch and landing, plus deflector systems, launch mounts, and
You would hope they have
deluge
deflector systems. They destroyed the last
This will
ones.
also include a propellant farm that will produce propellant on site and serve both launch pads. So there is a lot of work in progress, but Pad 37 is only one part of our plan for Starship operations in Florida. A few miles away from Pad 37 at Kennedy Space Center, our 380-foot-tall vertical integration facility called Gigabay is under construction. Once complete next year, Gigabay will be capable of housing multiple Starships simultaneously for rapid assembly and integration. And meanwhile, at Launch Complex 39A, we're building Starship's infrastructure to support up to 44 launches and up to 88 landings a year, independent of operations at Pad 37. So with 2 launch complexes in Florida, we'll have the ability to fly up to
Give us more.
120 Starships
Give us more
annually,
information.
not including our flights from Starbase. So, action is
Oops,
well
they're
underway
still
in
gonna fly
Florida.
from
How's it
Starbase.
looking in
Alright.
Texas?
They said before they're keeping Starbase as a test
Thanks, Tyler.
flight.
Things are continuing to
And it
look
will
good
continue
for
to
launch
be
here
just a
in
normal,
Texas,
everyday
so
launch
getting
site.
pretty close here with just under 6 minutes left. You mentioned Gigabay. We're currently laying the foundation for Gigabay here at Starbase as well, and we expect it to be up and running sometime next year. So
That's
yeah,
crazy.
there's
Like
a
the
whole bunch of
biggest
Starships
couple,
on the way, and
like
we're going to
million
need more
square
hands
foot
on
building.
deck.
Just a
So
year.
come help us build the gateway to Mars. Visit spacex.com/careers.
They're
to see
always
all of our
recruiting in
openings.
SpaceX.
Yeah,
It's
I've
crazy.
been here for a couple of years now. Nowhere more magical, more inspirational on the planet.
He used to
If you're
work
a
for
space
NASA.
nerd, you can come. Be
He used
like
to talk on the
Amanda,
NASA live
build
streams.
These things for real. It's pretty insane. It's super
Well,
exciting.
I wonder what's his like
and yeah,
full-time
check
job
us out.
at
All right.
SpaceX, because
Absolutely, it's
he only
super
ever
easy
appears
for
on
sure.
webcasts.
Okay, so we are looking like we're
Let's
about
see.
5 minutes away from launch and heading into terminal count. Range
Do we
and
have it in
weather
his
are continuing to
bio?
look good, and prop load continues
Dan
on both stages
Hewitt.
of Starship. We'll close out here in just a minute or so.
Yeah, we're just
Nope.
about done. Looks like
His
let me
bio is
grab
just
my
the
numbers
sometimes
real quick.
sarcastic side of
Not
space.
tracking any issues? We are just creeping up to 90% full on the LOX on the booster, a little over 93% on ship, or sorry, fuel on the booster, and then ship we're just about to close out, so only a couple of minutes to go there. Once we're done, you've got just shy of 11 million pounds of liquid propellant on board those 2 different stages. We'll see a couple of final things happen. Well, you can't really see it. It's all going to be
Let's
happening
see.
in our ground systems as we'll do pushbacks, clear all of the propellant out of those lines that are flowing up through the tower and into the vehicles, and get ready for launch. We just did our final
Communications
guidance, navigation,
manager.
and control system checkouts. Our flight safety system
Interesting.
is being armed right now, and we're doing our final wiggle
He was a
checks
public
shortly
affairs
with
lead
the engines,
at NASA from
the
2017 to
thrust vector controls that
2023.
were steering the rocket. If we need to hold, which we are not currently tracking a reason to hold, that would come at T-minus 40 seconds. You saw us do that yesterday. We can hang out there for about 8 minutes or so right now.
Mhm.
That's the point. It's built into the countdown.
One of his other
We
posts
need to wait
from
for clouds that just
yesterday,
won't go the heck away,
if it's still
or any
there.
other issues, we can hang out at T-minus 40 for a bit. But at the moment, we're not planning to do that.
Now, once we pass that T-minus 40
Yesterday,
second
after
mark,
the
a
scrub, we
number
just
of
said,
events
"Go
are
home,
launching
clouds.
in
Nobody
quick
likes you."
succession. The
And
ground
then
spin and ignition systems
it's
climb
always a
to
bummer
full
to scrub
pressure.
SpaceX
Ship will
or a
switch
NASA
over to
crew launch,
internal
but nothing's
power,
more
and
important
after
than
that,
safety and
the
reliability.
QE arm lock
And
out
this
is
the last time I
permitted and
posted
operates
this,
in
our
full
collective
traction,
yelling
which
worked. Let's
occurs
go yell
shortly
at some
after
clouds.
T0. And once
Kiko
we pass that
Doncho, he's like the
T-minus 40
VP of,
seconds,
yeah, he's
we
VP
do
of
still
launch.
have the ability to then recycle the count under certain conditions back to T-minus 40 seconds and hold there to assess what happened, and if we can proceed again back down to liftoff.
That's right. We do have at least one point of no return, though. If the
Water.
water-cooled flame deflector underneath the launch mount fires off, that happens a little bit after T-minus 10 seconds. That doesn't turn off once it starts going.
It's really
So
weird. Like
we would have
drones
to
get
stay
really
down for
close
the
to
day
rockets
if
as
we
they
do hit a
launch in
hold or an abort at that
different countries,
point,
different launch
so we can
sites,
refill water
but they
tanks.
never get like
At
thrown out
this
of the
point,
sky, which is crazy. Because how do
I'm
they
not
get
sure
so
if we'd
close?
be able to attempt tomorrow because we have fully loaded the vehicle. We have to do a lot of fancy
Yeah.
scheduling to get propellant in here as fast as possible. But again, we've got to pretty heroic.
They've had
and
trucks
amazing
going in
team that
all
works
day with
all
fuel.
Of those logistics got us into our attempt today after we did a unplanned wet dress yesterday during our attempt. So really exciting to see. But we're coming up on 2 minutes. We've got a green range. We are green for weather. Green is
Show us
always my
overlay.
favorite color, only more so now. And we are not tracking any issues with the vehicle today. So we are looking good. 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, again, not planning on holding at T-minus 40 seconds right now, but in case we do pass that. And
Alright,
any
so
issues
no
come
better
up,
time
we
to
can
go over the
recycle
objectives.
count.
Well, the
We're
timeline.
pretty lucky that we have this ability.
right now,
Falcon doesn't have that
we're about
built in,
here.
but being a developmental program, this affords
Well, we're
us
past
a lot
that
more
actually.
flexibility, so
So
useful
next
to
is
people to
flight
have
director
that.
verifies
Again,
go for launch
currently
in
tracking
about a
any
minute.
issues, so hopefully
Then
we'll be
10 seconds
good to
fame,
launch today.
3
Coming
seconds,
up on
obviously
90
launch.
seconds. We've got a pretty good crowd gathering
Mass
with us
Q,
right outside Star Factory here at
camera,
Starbase.
engines.
Looks like we're getting a quick TVC, that wiggle check.
This is my favorite view of the rocket.
Right under the
They never
launch
show
mount.
during launch though. Be really nice.
All right, so we've got
Oh,
crowds
that's cool. The
gathered
police
out
there.
in Hawthorne, crowds gathered here at Starbase.
Super fun to see people
Yeah, I'm
getting
not
to
gonna go over
watch
that.
out
That's
on the
gonna take
front
too
lawn
long.
now.
1 minute to go to launch.
Let's see. Did they go past the 40?
All right, so again, our hold point comes up at T-minus 40, not tracking any reason to stop there, so we should see us go right through that. All right.
There they go.
Through
Past the
T-minus
40.
We are counting down. We're going to let our flight director, Maciek Batura, take us the rest of the way. 30 seconds, the 10th liftoff of Starship.
Like directors go.
T-minus 15. T-minus 10.
9, 8.
7, 6, 5.
Oh, the new overlay. Anyway, back to launch. Ooh. Let's go! It took really long to lift, but let's go! We're going again. The sound is crazy. Like, how did the drones not get even shaken a little bit with the biggest rocket on Earth?
Booster chamber pressure nominal.
Let's go. We're going. Again. That's so cool.
All right, we're a little over 40 seconds into flight. 33 out of 33 wrapped engines.
Power and telemetry nominal.
I saw a little flash from one of the engines.
Getting good call outs. Healthy systems
Didn't love that.
on the booster as it starts to pitch over the Gulf.
That's so cool though. I love. Oh.
All right, we're a little over 1 minute into flight, about to pass through Max Q.
Max Q.
There we go.
All right, so we are through the period of maximum dynamic pressure, max stress on the vehicle as it continues to fly.
Our next major event is going to be hot staging, which is happening in just over 90 seconds from now. To get ready, the booster will shut down all but 3
TikTok
of
live
the
visibility
engines.
restricted because
The
it contains
clamp holding
unoriginal
the stages
reproduced
together
content.
will
Come
release,
on,
and the
really?
Starship second stage
That's so
ignites
crazy.
its engines. The ship then separates from the super heavy booster and heads to space. At the same time, the 3 engines still firing on super heavy will flip the booster around. 10 more engines will ignite for the boost back burn, putting the first stage
That's
on the
crazy,
path for
TikTok.
splashdown in the Gulf. As we mentioned earlier, the
Anyway.
hot stage will be jettisoned for this flight, and that should occur just after the boost back burn. So we're about to shut down the first stage and perform hot staging. So let's just watch and listen.
Ooh. That's a lot of. That's just venting.
All right, seeing
That
the engines
pitch
start to
over is
throttle
crazy.
down.
Miko.
Oh. And
Ship ignition.
I want to see it. There it is.
Stage separation.
Look at that. Look at that.
Stage separation confirmed. We've got 6
One engine's out.
running on ship. Booster is doing its boost back burn, continuing now.
One engine is out in the booster.
It's
That's
swept
fine
outside
though.
in the Gulf.
They
We
can
see
live
all
without
6
it.
Raptors lit up on ship.
They can live without a lot more. Ship is going strong though.
Report ship chamber pressures nominal, so that chamber pressure.
They said that every time.
expected
Go away,
thrust
Dan.
level in those Raptor engines on the ship.
Dan, every
Free
time
vacuum
something has
optimized,
happened.
free sea
Avionics,
level,
power and
all
telemetry
looking
nominal.
good.
Look at that. It's doing the thing again. It's doing the same thing.
There's a view
This
into
happens
the
every
business end
time.
from the ship.
Boost back burn shutdown.
People don't like that. None of us like that. Because it means it's getting hot. Boost back shutdown.
Alright, so at this point we finished our boost back burn, so that was shut down. So that's the first of the 2 burns after a launch that the booster's going to do today. So now it's headed towards the Gulf. It's not going to be quite as an aggressive of a flight down. We relaxed that angle of attack a little bit, but we are then going to be looking for it to
Just a
do
smidge.
its engine tests for the landing.
Those cameras, though.
Those are going to be a little unique this time.
Yeah, typically we
Camera-
start with all 13
SpaceX has the
center
best
inner
cameras you can
engines
have.
lit for that landing burn and bring that down to just the center 3. But one of our
Grid
test
fin
objectives
checkouts, I
for
guess?
today is to simulate what an engine out situation would look like. So we're going to be intentionally turning off one of those center 3 and instead
After one of the
landing
failures where the
ignitions
attitude
from
system
the middle
died,
10
and you could see it through here
So
before
we
they said it.
One of those engines in the middle ring shut down during the initial ascent. Oh, looks like we have hot stage.
There
jets,
it
and you can
is.
See it floating away there to the left of the booster.
That happened before though, and it restarted
Yeah, we did see
on
one of those
landing.
middle
So
engines shut down during the ascent. Again, we are resilient to engine out on Super
Starship
Heavy.
on
That's why we're able to get through
trajectory.
our ascent.
but last we saw ship spin out of control here before they announced it, and then the next
Starship
launch they
flying
took it
on the
away.
expected path. There's still a chance that engine could be back in the mix for the very start of the landing burn. So
Yeah,
we'll see if
usually
we
is.
light up all 13. But we
What time is boost
we've even
or
done a
landing burn?
at the tower with an engine out. So
6:20.
very resilient. We'll see how it does on its way down to the Gulf, though.
About 45 seconds.
All right, so we got a couple of minutes. That landing burn start should be just about 40 seconds away.
Look at that trail. Oh, they took it away.
That's always rad. You can see the
Look how hot it is. See the trail when it launched.
plume itself in the background as it was coming in.
Look at that. Look at the vapor cone. I love super
40
heavy
seconds
landings.
to landing burn.
Ship Raptor chamber pressure is nominal.
Still going. Come on, booster.
All right, here we go.
Here it is.
Startup.
Looks like we got 12 of those 13.
And they're doing the one engine out
Down to
like they
3,
wanted to.
including one of the middle ring.
Come on. It'll shut down right above the water. That's how they wanted it. Down to 2.
Down to 2.
And they're an over.
Nice little hover. And landing burn shut down.
It's going to fall into the water. They wanted it to, so it will explode.
Here we come.
They wanted it to explode.
And the booster has splashed down.
Let's go.
Incredible flight for
They
boosters
wanted to
today.
do that, though.
Meanwhile, back in space, about 7 minutes into today's flight, ship continuing its ascent burn. This goes until just about 9 minutes into our flight. That ship engine cut off.
Exactly how they wanted. They
slated
want to
for
shut
8
off above the
minutes and
water,
57
so it will
seconds. We are
explode.
gonna see
Because last time,
those 3
um,
back, the Raptor vacuum
when they did
engines,
that,
those
it didn't
bigger
explode. It hit the
circles
water and it
that
flowed into
little
Mexican
indicator
water.
on the bottom right of
And
your
they
screen,
didn't
those
like
will
that.
shut down first, and we continue burning for a couple seconds longer on those inner 3 before we hit SECO, second engine cutoff.
these views are looking great. Once again, thanks to Starlink for getting us these views. It's just incredible.
Come on.
We just heard the sound from Booster.
It's like we just got a
Ship engine cut off at
boom from the
8:57.
booster.
They wanted it to explode above the water, though, so the Mexicans can't be mad. But last time they landed it, they kept the engines going right up until the water. It landed gently in the water, and then it, in one whole piece, landed in the water and floated into Mexican waters. And the Mexican government was not happy because they had a rocket floating in their waters. So SpaceX had to go out and fish it out of the water. So they wanted it to, in other words, they just wanted it to break apart. That vent isn't a good thing. That does not mean good things, that vent. That's bad.
Right, shut down the vacuum
That means
engines.
bad things. Never mind, it turned off. We're good. And ship engines? Or sea level engines? There it is.
Ship engine cut off.
We shut down those center 3. Successful ship engine cutoff.
Let's go. It's looking very, very good.
That's what we want.
Nominal orbit insertion.
I hate when those vents turn on because it could be literally anything. And there goes some tiles. Like they didn't want.
Alright, so ship is in
Flaps?
space.
I'm guessing they're just flap checkouts.
Seeing the flaps starting to move into a stowed position. That's why it looks like your camera's moving.
Yeah, exciting to see.
I remember the first stream
Starship
they put a
safely in
flap
space,
camera on.
and super pumped to see all the team's hard work and
Camera upside
action
down.
here today. And of
Camera's
course,
upside down.
as guaranteed, it's been an exciting day so far. We successfully lifted off right on time at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Thankfully,
Oh yeah, half of those tiles in the wing are gone. On the flap.
Yeah, and Booster, we had our soft splashdown in the Gulf, so ship continues on.
Yeah, ship able to complete its
Let's
ascent
go.
burn all the way in.
Oh, they brought it back.
You can see
It's
some of the
3D now.
shadows start to creep as it's going to be eventually flying into an orbital nighttime. So we'll see some daylight start to go away. But ship is in orbit, completed its burn, and I mean that's just the beginning. Now we've got a whole bunch more to go. So we've got some exciting demonstrations planned while we're on orbit. That right there, we just saved the FTS, the flight termination system. That's that automatic flight safety system we have on the vehicle. So that is now turned off while ship starts its coast period. We are coming up. Our next milestone is going to be the deployment of those Starlink simulators. We've got some payload inside of Starship that we're hoping to deploy into space for the very first time. That deploy is supposed to start at about 18 minutes and 27 seconds into the flight, so just about 7 minutes from now. That deploy will take place over a couple of minutes. It'll go about one satellite a minute, so we'll be spread out over that. It might get a little dark, but we've got a couple of views that we can show you to see that deploy in action. After that, we're also looking to do a relight of a single Raptor engine while we are in space. We've done this once before.
Oh, I don't like this vent.
Not necessary to deorbit.
I don't
We are
like
on a
that.
suborbital trajectory.
Don't do that,
But
please.
This is essentially a chance to test out what we need to be able to do it.
I hate when they vent.
So we'll be doing that
Doesn't
a little
suit.
bit later in the flight, about 37 minutes or so into the flight,
Hmm.
and then we get into re-entry. We're looking
Doesn't
to
it
get
suit
that light show and,
conference?
more importantly, get that really critical data about the ship's heat shield.
Yeah, exactly. At about
So-
T plus 45 minutes, we'll be heading for re-entry. Again, running those experiments with the tiles. We're going to be doing missing tiles, metallic
Payload
tiles,
demo was 7
and
minutes
also
long.
intentionally loading
So,
those vehicles' flaps. Hopefully we'll
From
also
18
see
minutes,
a
so
splashed
in
out
6
Indian
minutes.
Ocean today.
Yeah, we were able to get to a re-entry
Hopefully looking
last
all right.
time, but we didn't have full attitude control, so we weren't able to go in, heat shield first the way we're designed to. So we ended up losing contact with the ship before we could make it all the way through. So you still get data, but you're not really getting the data that we want want to make sure we're kind of stress testing the vehicle. As Amanda just said, we removed a bunch of tiles, and we do this in some intentionally
Okay, vent
scary
looks
places on the vehicle because we're really
interesting.
looking, are there spots
Don't
that
love
were
that.
vulnerable to this?
Don't like that at all.
Before we ever start moving towards, putting ship into a full orbital mission to then do re-entries a little bit later on. So really, really critical to get that data, really looking forward to a controlled re-entry.
Yeah, for sure. As we always say, our main payload is data, but today we also have some actual payload on board, and those simulators that Starship will be deploying, we'll see coming up here in just a few minutes. These are dummy satellites
Look at
are
that.
the same size as our V3 Starlinks.
Doesn't look like
We
there's a
have
camera on
in
it.
the Starship PEZ dispenser and expect to deploy at a rate of about
It's so,
1
it's
per
so cool
minute,
to
as
see the
Dan
gas
mentioned
floating
earlier.
around inside of it.
Starlink is critical in all of our flights on Starship to get our main payload data, as we always say. And in fact, it's Starlink that's currently providing these views you see as Starship cruises a couple hundred kilometers above our home planet and provides real-time telemetry through every phase of flight.
Yeah, we took a peek inside of the Starship payload bay there for a second. So there's 8 of them. They kind of look just big steel plates, essentially. They're roughly the same size as those V3 satellites. When we do get that view inside of the payload bay, the payload door will kind of be on your right, and we'll start to see them go out like a PEZ dispenser.
I thought it's so dark outside, and they just have these.
Yeah, here's a look inside.
When they open the
those
door,
right down there in the center,
and that
they're kind of 2 stacks of 4 on either side.
oh, the
And
door's on
payload
this
door
side.
is just to their right, and so
But
we'll look to see
when the
that
door opens,
open,
you'll see the light
and
come
then
out,
those
and
satellites
from the
go.
external cameras.
We vent the nose cone, so we essentially bring it down to vacuum before we open the door. That was one of the things we ran into on the last flight, as when we had that fuel diffuser fail, the pressure in the nose cone became basically too high for the actuator of the door to open. So that's why we weren't able to get the door open that time.
Let's hope. Let's
we
pray.
have not seen anything
Let's
like that
believe.
on this flight. Everything's looking good with our fuel tank.
Let's all believe in
and our
Starship.
fuel press system. So we are hopefully just a couple of minutes away from
This
seeing
door better
that
open, I swear to
payload
God.
door open and getting to our first.
What is
ever
that
payload.
smoke
It's not
from?
the first payload we've ever carried.
The banana.
But
The banana.
It's the first one we're
I
going to
remember
try
that.
and shoot off into space.
That was fun.
All right, so I think we're supposed to open the payload door
Please.
in just about a minute and change.
Dang,
And
this door
you're
better
seeing
open.
A little bit of residual gas.
He better not make
We
a
opened the
Star
door
Wars joke.
once. I want to say it was back on flight 3 when we were
And then they
able to
closed it.
make it up into space. And you'll kind of see a lot of that
It
gas
jammed, and
rushing
they
out
closed it
into the
again.
vacuum of space. It's the residual that's left over after we've already vented.
It's cool
it
that that
down.
shows how
So, kind of a cool light show.
how sealed
and
that
then we'll
door
get
is.
ready
Which is weird.
to
It's just a
deploy
steel
those
plate.
payloads out.
Okay, what exact time is payload deploy? 18 minutes 27 seconds. I need me a charger.
And as
Hold
we
on.
mentioned, so we have crossed over now at this point into an orbital nighttime. So views from the outside.
I thought he was about to
get
say
pretty dark.
into
but
some mode that stops from doing anything.
see, we do this by design. We've been launching these later in the day here in Texas to try and get daytime
Good splashdown.
views when we splash down. So it's daytime over in the Indian Ocean, where we are currently headed.
Just a few seconds until we expect those payload doors to open.
All right, one more time. Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
Stop freezing! There it goes. The door's opening. Why is it freezing? Why is it doing this? Stop freezing! This is annoying. The door's opening though.
So we are currently in payload deploy prep.
Prep. The door opened though.
And the door is open.
Let's go. This will be so cool. They better have a camera on the payload. Like looking back at the ship, so as it shoots out, it can see it.
The payload door is open. We should see the first satellites start to deploy at about T plus 18 minutes and 27 seconds. So should be only about 30 seconds. So one step closer. Hal, listen this time.
Look at that.
Cooperated. He opened the payload door for us. There's a view kind of behind
Everyone's
the Pez. You're
so mad at Dan.
out into the vacuum of space.
About 15 seconds until payload deploy.
I didn't realize my phone's 20 something seconds ahead. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. It's a little late. I don't want to look at
payload deploy.
I don't want to look at my phone because then I'll see it. I want to see it here for the first time. So I'm trying to like block my phone. Come on, Stanley, pull through for us just this once. Do it. Come on. I swear if they pop up with an issue. Let's go!
There we go.
That's really slow, but it's really cool. Look at it go!
Pew pew. Been waiting way too long to do that. There we go.
That's so cool. Show us some outside views. Oh. At long last. They better have some cool outside cameras to show this.
We're super excited for finally getting to deploy some of those simulated satellites.
That's so cool.
System moving down. Next row. There we go. As we said, we're going to do about one every minute or so. And this is just kind of a dress rehearsal for when we're going to be deploying the V3 satellites. And these are just a massive increase to Starlink's capability. Each one of them has its 60 terabits per second of capacity that's going to get added to the network per launch. That's
look at it
20
go.
times more than what we're adding with every single Falcon 9 launch today, which, you know, step increase in capability. There goes another one. All right, so as we said, we've got 8 total that we're going to go through today. It's about a minute for each one, but good on payload.
Everyone's cheering as it shoots out. Oh, I wish we had outside views. So cool. Come on, don't do this. We finally have a deployment
Right, so
from
we're-
Starship. This has taken way too long. I don't like that it's possible.
We're about halfway through when we actually start launching the V3 Starlinks on Starship. We're going to be flying about 6.
It's cool how smooth it
so it'll
is.
be about an
They've
hour
never
to
done
get
this
through a
before.
Full stack, but again, it's just going to be a massive increase in the amount of bandwidth. It's going to enable gigabit upload download for people with Starlink, anywhere on the planet. And for us, Starlink is just a tremendous part of just the Starship flight test program.
Yeah,
Like, it's so
absolutely. Always
smooth, but this is
getting
the
us that
first time it's
data,
ever been done.
And yeah, the amazing views we have on the vehicle today.
Yeah, views brought to you by Starlink of us deploying Starlink simulators before we deploy actual Starlinks. How deep does it go? All right, another one firing out.
It's cool how as soon as it gets out of the payload bay, it starts tilting. I want some outside camera views, though. Are you gonna get more shearing? There it is.
Pez looking smooth today.
So cool. Oh, that's cool. This is like a locking pin. It slides down, puts it on a tray, and it shoots it out. And then goes up and locks into this one. That's cool. Oh. 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 There's the cheering. Oh. Oh.
All right, looks like we've got one left.
Almost there.
Yeah, there you go. One remaining, so 7 of the 8 have been deployed. One more to go.
Look at that.
We will have completed our first ever payload deploy operation.
Oh.
Just a reminder, we're on a suborbital
Hey.
trajectory. These satellites on that exact same suborbital trajectory, they're going to burn up.
Look at
entirely,
that.
and are on that same trajectory towards the Indian Ocean.
It's like they've done it before.
The last one has been
This guy.
deployed. Starlink simulator payload complete. Heck yeah, everybody.
Loving the energy from Starbase and
I wonder when the next launch, on the next launch, when they actually put Starlinks in it now.
There, now it's empty. Looking a little lonely, but
Should put a banana in it.
all the simulator satellites.
really, really cool to see them all out there. Again, people that have followed know Starlink's
Oh,
really
it's dark
critical,
out, so we couldn't see it.
For the
Look at the light,
Starship
though.
program, in addition to getting all those
From the
views
door.
back from the cameras.
Why
on
did they
Starship,
show
which
this,
This
though?
is an external view. As I said, it's dark outside right now. The lights are off, so it's going to be hard to make stuff out. But in a little while, the sun's going to start coming up as we get to re-entry,
Show
which
this
is going to be really
when
critical.
they're deploying.
We use Starlink for Starship data. Cameras also use it.
Looks like the door's
cameras
closing.
that we use to bring you views of these launches and also
There it
hopefully
goes.
of the re-entry.
And the
flight
door's
down to
closed.
See what we get from the Indian Ocean today. And that's just kind of how it all comes together. Like, we're using Starlink on the planet, off the planet. And with Starship, we actually get a pretty insane, if you're in the space industry, bandwidth to space is usually pretty minimal. We get about 120 megabits per second. That's split between our high definition video and real-time telemetry. We get that every phase of flight, including re-entry. So it's not just giving us views of re-entry, but we're getting all of that engineering data in real time through phases that it used to be impossible to get that in real time. So just really incredible.
Yeah, Starlink definitely affords us all this capability. And reminder, it's the world's largest satellite constellation operating in low Earth orbit to deliver high-speed, low-latency broadband internet.
I'm just so
This
glad we saw
provides
that.
internet access to people
Been
all
so
around
long.
the world, many of whom had never had connectivity before. Today, Starlink
So
serves
next
more than
is
150 countries, territories, and other markets, with over 6 million active customers and counting.
at 37
To meet the
minutes,
growing
we
global
have
demand for high-speed
in-space
internet,
relight
SpaceX
demo,
expanded its factory in Bastrop, Texas,
which has been a while.
and
It's been
also
cancelled a couple
introduced
times,
Starlink
same
Mini,
as the
as well
Starlink
as an upgraded
deployment.
version of the Starlink
And then at
space
47 minutes,
All
we
right,
have
now
entry.
with
So
payload
20 minutes.
deploy complete. Pew, pew, pew. Starship is now going to close its payload bay door and continue to coast towards Earth, around Earth, towards the Indian Ocean. Sorry.
Dan is tired.
Today. We are in space, people. Still a lot of major events to come, though. We are looking to relight one of those Raptor engines at about 37 minutes, 33 seconds into the flight, followed by atmospheric entry, hell of a light show, and splashdown. So we're going to go on a
Gone
quick
so
break,
well.
take a quick coast, sit back, enjoy the views. A little bit dark now, but they'll get better soon. A couple of space jams. We'll be back in just
Let's
a few
go.
minutes. For
Let's see
that
what views
Raptor
they give
relight
us.
and then re-entry. See you soon.
Look at it. Look at it. Let's go. This big tank right here, that's what killed the last Starship. What blew into a million pieces. Okay, so relight's at 37. So that's in 10 minutes. And then another 10 minutes after that, we have entry. And then another 20 minutes after that, we have landing. Let's go. In fact, what, 35 minutes until landing? So, what I am going to do... I wonder the amount of pressure that's behind that tank right there is definitely crazy. That's definitely popping constantly. But, what I'm going to do, like every single launch, is I'm going to go on my little break. I'm not going to come back for the relight. That's going to be like a 10-second burn. Then going to end. I'm going to watch it myself. But, yeah. I wonder why it's shaking like this. Anyway, but I'll be back in, let's see, about 40 minutes. So I'll be gone about 10 minutes. And I'll be back. And we can get ready for landing. Well, get ready for re-entry, because it's been crazy so far. So, stick with me for a bit, and I'll be back in about 10 minutes.
right, welcome back, everybody. If you're just joining us, Starship just successfully deployed its first ever payload. We got 8 of those Starlink simulators out, and now we are expecting the relight of a single Raptor engine. That should be coming up in just a little under a minute. We're going to be lighting just one of those Raptor sea levels in the middle there. This is not a deorbit burn. It's a demonstration of what we'll have to do for deorbit burns, but we've done this once before. This is something we're really going to have to do when we're doing orbital missions, so it's a pretty critical test. We are just a couple seconds away. Sorry, we're about 20 seconds away, psych. So we got a little bit more time. So we are going to see one of those Raptor engines light back up. We are through the deorbit demo gate, so we should be seeing it momentarily.
Relight demo startup. And shutdown.
All right, looks like we confirmed the relight of one of those center Raptor engines. Second time we've done that. Super exciting.
Phenomenal
Huge
orbit
congrats
insertion.
to the team on this milestone. Very exciting to see.
That was a cool light show. Yeah, I get to do a mini version here. So again, that's going to be really critical for when we're doing deorbit burns. Like as you're going through, which if you don't have one of these, my God, they're so much fun. But like you're able to actually like light. Oh, Dan turned it on. Light that engine. Not set my co-host on fire. And that's what we'll eventually do to, break out of orbit, come back down to Earth. So really cool to see one of those engines light back up again in space. It was our last in-space thing.
Very exciting. We're going to be heading back for re-entry at about T plus 45 minutes. So we're going to take another quick break, and we will see you soon.
so we are back. We are about 45 minutes into the 10th flight test of Starship. And as you can see, the light show has started. Re-entry has begun. We are starting to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. We're moving about 5 times the speed of sound, and we're about to start barreling through the Earth's atmosphere and head in the
Let's
Indian
go.
Ocean. We don't plan to recover
We're
the
back.
spacecraft today. But
They did the
if we
relight.
make it all the way
Relight
down
worked.
to the water, who knows? But the goal
I don't
of
like
this
on
part
one of the
the
aft
flight
flaps though. It
is
looks
to
like there's a
learn as much as
wire,
we can
some crumpled
about
up
the ship's heat shield.
pieces of the
Fully
flap
reusable,
hanging off.
rapidly
Don't love
reusable
that,
heat
but
shield for a spacecraft has never been done before. It's one of kind of the hardest engineering challenges still out there for us. And so this is the time to really dig in and get that data.
let me try and see
Yeah,
if I can.
absolutely.
I
And
can't.
re-entry is a critical phase of
Hold
flight.
on, let me reload real quick. 'Cause it looks like it's really far behind. Look at that
Towers
view,
down on
though.
the ground. Starship's big size
There
kind
we
of
go.
gives
Now
us
we're
awake,
back.
but what really helps us punch
Oh, it's so
through
cool.
is
You
the
can see
fact
the
that we're
pattern
using
of the knot.
Starlink. We're operating it at just a much higher frequency.
No!
That's not what we want to see. So we just saw some of the aft skirt just take a hit. So we've got some visible damage on the aft skirt. We're continuing to re-enter though. And again,
What happened?
we are intentionally stressing the ship as
I
we go
forgot they're
through this.
doing
So
that.
it is not
Why?
guaranteed to be
Let
a
one
smooth
ship make it
ride
through. Let
down
one
to
V2
the Indian
last.
Ocean. We've removed a bunch
God
of
damn it,
tiles
SpaceX.
in kind of critical places
It's
across
one of
the
those
vehicle.
things that
So
is very
seeing
important,
stuff
right? The
like
flap
that
itself can
is
survive.
still
The problem
valuable
is that
to us.
gap
We are trying
in
to
between.
Oh,
Wow,
there's been
what
a
was
push
that?
this
big
vehicle to the
sort of
limits to learn
energetic
what its
event
limits are as we
underneath the
design
ship
our
there.
next version
Something seems to have
of
blown.
Starship. So
It looks
And
like
some
the one of the
chunks
flaps.
leaving the ship.
Did
you see that?
Into
It's-
the flight.
Yeah, there
It's
was. It looks like there was some
attitude
ticking up a little
seems
bit
to
on
be
re-entry
Still
already.
stable though.
similar.
But
I'm
the
not
light
sure.
show is
Let's keep an eye on the
continuing.
telemetry if it
This
is
re-entry
rotating at all, but there
is
is
gonna take
definitely
Oh,
some
no.
debris
Oh no.
being released
until
from
our
the aft
planned
section of the
splashdown.
vehicle.
We were trying to splash
Let
down
one
I-
ship make it through,
I
man.
mean-
an hour and 6 minutes into
So
the
far,
flight.
it's still stable. It's not great.
Let one
Also,
V2
one
last,
Starship is
please.
designed to land on Mars where there are obviously no runways or other humans to help us out. So we are doing propulsive landing instead of more traditional means such as parachutes. And propulsive landing enables us to have more rapid reusability with these vehicles.
Complete speculation, but maybe what we just saw
Yeah, the
was
ship
a result
itself,
of one
it's
of
a
those
little over 50
tests,
meters tall.
around the aft
We've
area
got
of
those
the
6
vehicle.
engines
You know,
on board, the 3
fine,
vacuum,
could be
the
not
3
fine.
sea
Who
level,
knows? But
and they're down
It
in
is
that
the-
aft skirt region, which
flaps have control.
Oh, look at that. Look, it's still surviving. It's still lasting.
right,
It's
so at
fine.
this point, the flaps have control.
It's
That means
fine.
we're getting into a dense enough part of the atmosphere that the flaps
Don't
will
hold me
start
to that.
controlling us. We're not only reliant on those
That
kind
actually
of
does look
traction
fine, though.
control system thrusters.
We're going to continue hearing some callouts as the ship makes its way back to Earth. So when we hear entry max heating and entry max
Oh.
Q, that will mean the ship has made it through
See,
the
I saw that
maximum heating
earlier, and I
aerodynamic
didn't like
loads
it.
it will experience as it returns. So if it makes it through those,
Yeah,
I could say
well.
we're doing pretty well.
I think
I
that's
will
the
say
shield
we
tiles
got
coming
the
off.
Re-entry cleaned off this camera for us. It was a little dirty from the weather, so thank you, Plasma, for giving us this view as we start coming down.
I really wish they let one V2 last at least.
The hit we saw to the skirt, definitely interesting. I will note, when we started doing these missing tile tests, we were intentionally removing them only in the skirt, as that's, you know, that's not over your fuel tanks or anything
Also,
else. That's
when they
kind
started
of
these
structurally critical
re-entries,
for keeping the entire vehicle together. Obviously exposes
they
your
didn't,
engines, so
like, the
that could
flap
do some
didn't
things with
survive,
landing burn,
and it still made it
but
all the way through.
for now, we are obviously
The
continuing
flap
with
was
the
hanging on by
re-entry. We
literally
are
the top
committed to the Indian
hinge,
Ocean. Here we come.
and it was
50
fine.
minutes since launch. We're gonna
Don't love
see
that.
those colors start
That's
to build
fine.
up a little
That's
bit.
normal.
We are at the point where we're in dense enough atmosphere that the flaps have control. It's about 74 kilometers
Look
in
at that.
altitude.
The flap glowing.
And you were starting to see some sunlight, so we intentionally time these launches right now so we have daylight. The sun should actually come up over the horizon on Starship in about 3 minutes. So as we get a little bit further into this reentry, that inky black below you is going to start to look like clouds and hopefully a bright blue ocean as we make our way down onto the other side of the planet. We've got these cameras. These cameras are really cool. We added these several flights ago, looking directly at the flaps as not just the heat shield, but these flaps, how they're able to control the vehicle.
I'm surprised.
That reentry, the seal location.
Come on, man. Don't do this again. Don't do the little flap that could. That's what everyone's calling it. From the other flight, they're just calling it the little flap that could.
Kind of being mean to this Starship a little bit. We're really trying to put it through the paces and kind of poke on what some of its weak points are. I mean, we even have missing tiles.
I'm just looking at this other chat
of the ship itself, and so
they're just like, we've seen worse, which is true.
What are our limits? We're doing this over completely.
Just waiting for someone to say the little flap that could.
Over the Earth.
There it is. There it is.
Look at our Raptors there. We are assuming we make it all the way down to the ocean in one piece.
Please do.
Attempt a flip and a landing burn.
Please do. Hopefully they can control the flip.
At least one buoy. Everybody's favorite camera.
At least
out in the Indian Ocean right now, being powered by Starlink. So
yeah.
That's at our planned landing location.
I don't like when things are flapping.
If we're able to
don't
get
like that.
any live views of the ship, that'll essentially tell you that we nailed our target. Able to do that.
Still looking really stable though.
In the daytime, which was really exciting.
That's surprising. Okay, so the engine's getting it. Oh, the engine's getting blasted. That engine is feeling it. You can see the green flame.
About 10 minutes.
Sometimes that's from engines getting destroyed.
Some other big milestones coming up.
We're at 52. Next is transonic and then subsonic. Flip is at 106.
This is going to be the period of flight where the velocities of airflow surrounding and flowing past the vehicle are concurrently below, at, and above the speed of sound, so somewhere in the range of Mach 0.8 to 1.2. For reference, commercial jets have a range of cruising speeds, but most of them fly at speeds between Mach 0.74 and Mach 0.85. So that's 480 to
Starship is like a
miles per
beast,
hour,
though. It can pull through this. It's done it before.
Kilometers per hour.
Yeah,
it just shrugs it off.
Subsonic, that just means you're slower than the speed of sound. We're still well in excess of that right now. But by the time we hit subsonic, we're essentially belly flopping down. There we go. There's that sunlight. So we're seeing the Earth now come back into view. One of the other things we're doing,
like the forward flaps can counter it.
Pitch in some pretty not extreme ways, but a little extreme.
Don't do that to us.
Trying to really stress.
Actually, cameras can go. We still, as long as it still updates down here, we're fine.
Specifically, those aft flaps. So the ones in the very bottom of the vehicle.
They did the same with the booster on Flight 9. They said they're just going to purposely push it to the limits, and they did. They sheared it in half.
We're pushing it beyond essentially.
Same with ship.
We'll have to fly at to do something.
Also,
like
the angle
site,
that they're going to be trying to land at is also going to be higher, like they would booster on Flight 9.
We're really trying to find what are the edges that we can operate.
They're missing tiles, and they're still going. Oh, that was a big chunk.
Clouds and water down below us. We are just about 10 minutes.
That was a chunk.
A little less than 10 minutes now until we start hitting.
So at 103, it's going to start calming down.
Subsonic, we're basically just belly flopping.
These catch pins are also surviving. That was another experiment. Why didn't they show us this camera when they were deploying it? Oh yeah, it was deck, I guess. Yeah. I'm glad they added the 3D animation down there though. Pretty useful. I'm watching the other stream, looking at the chats.
How fast it's going, because like, oh my god, and you can see like pieces of debris break off the ship, and then like.
Yeah. All right. Trying to cover up other streams because some of them are a little bit ahead.
All right, so about
this one's behind. Never mind.
5.5 minutes in, you can see the sun is up. Again, we intentionally designed these flights to lift off in the evening here, so we get these daylight views, so we can get as good.
Still has really good control somehow.
Possible on the ship, assuming we make it all the way down. We've got at least one buoy powered by Starlink that's out there.
Keep saying at
in the
least.
landing zone in the Indian Ocean, hopefully giving us a view again. If you see any live views, not from the ship itself, that means we nailed our landing target.
Starship is past peak heating.
Let's go.
All right, we just heard the call out that we're past peak heating, so things are looking good.
We're
so
looking
far.
good.
We're looking good.
Gonna go.
And at this point, again, the flaps are controlling. So this movement you're seeing is that forward flap.
At least it's not
moving
like,
to
oh,
try
something happened.
and maintain control.
It's
maintain
like, oh, we're
attitude of the
pushing it to its
vehicle as
limits.
we're
This is
coming down.
going to happen. Because I need to figure out all the failure modes of Starship so they can... Because there's no abort system on Starship. Like other rockets, you know, capsule shoots off, parachutes down, or pulls it away, whatever. Starship doesn't have that. It won't have it. And unless somehow they can figure out how to counter 6 engines on the ship against 37 if they want to fly a ship away in an abort situation.
We got one of these cameras on all
That'll
four
be
of the
interesting,
flaps,
but
two in the front, two in the back.
oh, that's a
giving us
spicy flap.
really good
Look at it.
close-up views. As we're,
But they need to figure out
we
how
obviously
Starship
don't have a camera
fails.
that can see the entire heat shield. These give us kind of the best that we can do. But looking at those flaps is really, those are just, you know, super critical for controlling the ship. You have some ability to maneuver kind of cross range. So as you're coming in, you can see in that
They're getting close down there
at the very bottom right.
Oh yeah,
We've
there it is.
pushed up quite a bit. So again, we are maximally stressing those aft flaps right now.
It's one. That's one of their mouths gone.
It's like we got a little bit of burn through.
Like whatever flight it was,
bottom
the little flap
part
that
of it.
could.
Everything's still looking good. Ship
Still past peak
maintaining
heating though.
control.
Someone just said it's a happy little flap.
We should be just about 5 minutes away until we hear that we're transonic.
Starting to slow down pretty quick now though. It's still weird, like these ones stayed on, but the other ones didn't. Maybe it's an experiment. Different types of glues, possibly.
Still a little bit toasty on the aft skirt of the vehicle as we continue coming in.
Again, we are intentionally stressing the flaps so we can learn all we can.
All right, so now we're already well past peak heating.
Let's go. Okay, so 103, so we have 3 minutes.
49, counting down to 48 kilometers in altitude. Expecting that transonic to come, so transitioning between the speed of sound and subsonic slower than the speed of sound in just a little under 4 minutes from now.
Still curious what caused the
right
pop.
Now we've got kind of a lot of forward momentum, a lot of forward velocity.
Of
the
aft.
By the time we hit subsonic.
Upload.
All right, here we go. So this is what we've been talking about, where we are going to essentially try to fully deploy those aft flaps and test them out. So again, this is meant to test the extremes for the vehicle.
Oh wow, it's really slowing down now. Oh wow. Oh come on, not him. Oh, it's gonna do this now. It's gonna keep turning off. Oh wow. Oh boy. They're pushing it.
See those flaps swinging out? Again, we're putting ship through the ringer on this flight in.
Oh, come on. Does this. Half one every day. It does this. Oh, that flap's not happy.
It's like we're still maintaining control.
It survived it, though. That's crazy. That's so cool. They put them all the way out.
Their paycheck today, getting through.
You could really see how much they do when they fully deploy them. The entire thing started to nose down.
Looking good so far. We're about 2 minutes out now from Starship becoming transonic.
One cool thing to note as we get some of those views showing kind of the whole length of the ship, one of the changes we made after Flight 6 was to change the tile line a little bit. So we had kind of scaled back the number of tiles significantly, as when we go to catch these ships, you don't want to, I think as Elon said, you don't want to shuck the ship as you catch it and knock all those tiles off. So we knew we were going to have to kind of peel back that layer a little bit. And the first time we did it was on Flight 6, and we saw kind of wrinkling and dimples almost in the ship as we were creating these hot spots in the uneven parts of the heat shield. And
Still going though.
To kind of address that, we smoothed it out.
Okay.
You've got
now I'm happy. This stream's a minute behind for me because I haven't reloaded in a while.
We can see kind of
so I can't get spoiled with if something happens.
Almost, near the
chat can't destroy my curiosity.
It, but we don't see those kind of deep.
It's cool. You can see the heating.
They almost look like gouges.
Also, right here though, that
so it looks like that
part of the heat shield doesn't look too happy.
So
actually, no, that's the pins. That's the lift pins. Never mind.
We are less than a minute away from hitting transonic. Again, pretty soon our forward velocity is going to look like it's kind of falling off a cliff, and Starship will look like it's falling off a cliff as we essentially go into our belly flop. If you watch some of the high altitude tests or suborbital campaigns, we were able to test that.
This little guy made it through as well.
Pretty fundamental, like, can this thing actually fly? And we were able to.
It's the first time V2 has made it this far.
And that's what we're about to see shortly here.
Is that the moon or something up there? What's that? Was that just a divot in the camera? Possibly. I'm just maybe going insane. Transonic? Looks like we're transonic.
All right, so at this point, we've dropped below the speed of sound.
There it is.
So
told you.
Starship itself is subsonic.
There it is.
We are starting to chill the engines.
Let's go.
For a landing burn attempt.
If the engines will work. They got popped by debris.
Landing flip supposed to start in a little over 2 minutes.
Let's go.
Subsonic Indian Ocean, we're on our way.
Starship is subsonic.
There we go. Farewell space.
Look at this. Oh. Everything's cooling down now. You can see it all getting white. Bits are still flying off.
In just a little under 2 minutes, so we're going to do the flip and the burn. So we're only using those 3 center Raptor engines, the sea levels, the ones that can kind of gimbal, that can move around and steer.
Oh.
Dipping the nose down a little bit.
Okay, that better be planned.
Got 2 of our engines chilled in, waiting on 1 more. So again, we'll attempt to use 3 burns for that initial flip. We eventually go down to just 2 Raptors for the end of the landing burn.
So 6:14.
Just about 1 minute now from that landing flip and landing burn start.
You can really see how much these flaps do.
Structurally, we're looking good. Got good pressures in our nose cone.
See, it's kind of... It's trying to counter for that other flap.
Just about 30 seconds. So again, we're going to look for the flip, So Starship's doing its belly flop right now. We're going to do the flip, swing out. Let's punch through some clouds first.
Ooh. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Go, go, go.
Here we go.
Go, 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 go,
Starship,
go,
landing
go,
burn,
go,
start
go,
up.
go, 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 go.
Seeing 3 engines.
Let's go.
There's our flip.
Oh my god. It's brown. Oh my god.
Splashdown.
Let's go.
Hey.
Oh wow. It was brown and white. My god.
Oh man, yeah. Farewell, ship 37. Thank you, buoy cam. Landing flip,
Let's
landing burn.
go.
Splash out of the Indian Ocean. There we go. All right. That was pretty awesome.
Sick.
That was cool, right?
For both ship and booster.
Yeah, really incredible. So obviously we're excited here. It looks like everybody's excited over there. Tyler, how's it going over at
Let's
Hawthorne?
go.
We're super excited here in Hawthorne. It was another exciting Starship flight test in the books, and we hope you enjoyed those Starlink views.
Everyone's clearing out straight away.
Congratulations to the team at Starbase and everyone here and around the company. So many employees have contributed enormously to the Starship program as we continue to iterate and make progress towards a multi-planetary future. So that's going to wrap it up for us here in Hawthorne. Thank you to everyone for tuning in today. It was it was great being with you today. Back to you guys.
That was absolutely incredible. Huge congrats to all the teams here. Again, we lifted off from Starbase, Texas, right at the top of our window at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. We saw Booster successfully lift us up through ascent, had a successful hot staging where ship continued on with its suborbital trajectory. Booster
That's
came back
crazy.
down, had that boost back burn, and a successful landing burn with that,
that was
unique
awesome.
engine configuration as well.
Yeah, and then ship continued on its way, made it all the way into space. We got to see first ever payload deploy.
So exciting.
That was awesome. We got the door open, 8 Starlink simulators deployed. Reeling
Everything.
that Raptor engine. And then on
They
entry,
got
we probably gave it
everything
a little bit
done.
of extra time in the oven, but made it all the way through re-entry.
Extra time in the oven?
All 3 engines started up, landing flip, splash down in the Indian Ocean. Promised maximum excitement. Starship delivered.
Most
So
definitely.
congratulations, all of our teammates here at
So
SpaceX.
cool.
It's been a year. Everybody that's worked on this program, this is what we're working for. So big
First
congrats to all of
V2
them. Thank you to all of our future customers too.
ever
for your
splash
support.
down.
And we'd also like to thank the fine people of Cameron County, including the residents of its newest city, Starbase, as well as the Coast Guard, the Federal Aviation
It's crazy.
Administration, the Government of Mexico, and the Australian Space Agency.
And the stakes
Be
are back
sure to
down.
Stay tuned to SpaceX on X for updates, more of the views. This is just a tiny amount of the views. We have so many views that we didn't get to feature on the broadcast. So we're going to be going through that over the next couple of days, and we'll be posting it all there.
Yeah, if you're interested in more launch coverage, head on over to spacex.com/launches
Wow.
for the most up-to-date information. In fact, we actually recently rolled out a new departure board featuring our upcoming launches with details like mission name, launch and landing site, and liftoff time. So be sure to check it out.
All right. We just launched the world's biggest rocket again.
Dan doesn't know what to say.
Dropped a couple satellites off, suborbital.
Incredible payload deploy for today.
Nailed that double header into the ocean, splashdown, time to go through the data. Really crazy cool to hit all those objectives today.
Yeah, huge shout out to all the teams who make this look easy. And thanks to all of you for tuning in, and we will see you back here for Flight 11. Good night.
Let's go. Wow. That was something. How many views has that gotten? 2.1 million. Just a casual 2.1 million in 2 hours. All right, let's look over some. I also do have permission from NSF. I got it like a year ago. For their to restream their stuff.
Here we go.
Starship landing burn start up.
There's the call out.
want to see their reaction first to the colors as well.
No way.
There's the engines.
Wow.
Come on.
Here's our flip.
Channel 2 didn't update, but
It's the ocean.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
it's brown and white.
Touchdown. Touchdown of Starship 37.
On target.
Wow.
Whoa. Oh my goodness. That is what we wanted to see. Ship 37 on target in the Indian
Oh.
Ocean.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Oh man, yeah. Farewell, ship 37.
Oh, come on. YouTube is getting so much worse with the ads.
Out of the Indian Ocean. There we go. All right.
Let's go.
Third
They did
time
it. They
is
did it.
indeed the charm.
Full redemption.
Let's see if we get a reaction from Das. Okay, we're not getting a reaction from Das. Oh, there he is.
We need audio? No, I'm sending you audio. It's on the other side of the planet, and respect for the buoy cam, by the way. I like the buoy cam. I'm a fan of buoy cam. Like
We love buoy cam.
I like remote video feeds. Good job, buoy cam, bringing us the shot. That is serious redemption for the program.
Let's go to the Rocket Ranch. Okay, so it looks like we'll
Actually
be,
crazy.
waiting at the outpost there, but everyone on the roof of the hotel, everyone at the Rocket Ranch outpost, everyone at SpaceX, absolutely delighted. 37.
I'm gonna go back on this. Just. Oh.
Yes! Wow.
Come on!
Here's our flip.
Come on!
Look at it. Look at it go.
Seeing three
No
engines.
way.
There's the engines.
Wow.
Come on!
I wanna slow this down to get a proper look. That's the wrong one. Get a proper look at the colors of this thing.
There's our flip.
Come on!
Look at it. Look at the colors of that thing. That's crazy. Wow. That's not what I wanted to do. But
Touchdown! Touchdown of Starship 37!
On target.
I'm just gonna post a before and after real quick.
Oh my goodness! That is what we wanted to see! Ship 37 on target in the Indian Ocean!
Absolutely ridiculous.
Oh man, yeah. Farewell, ship 37. Thank you, buoy cam. Landing flip, landing burn, splash out of the Indian Ocean. There we go.
It's gonna be hard to reuse this thing when it's if it's that
They did it.
brown
They
after
did it.
launch.
The charm.
Full redemption.
Let's look at some. That's actually. Oh. That is wow. Trying to find streams. Why are they not YouTube? Do me right. Show me the streams. YouTube is absolutely infuriating. Okay, YouTube's just doing me wrong and not showing me the streams I want to see. It really doesn't know me.
From the fields of Kentucky.
All right, YouTube. I'm down with the ear blasting ads.
Team's gonna eat well tonight. I will tell you that. That is fantastic. Thank you.
Oh, the
so
data or
much.
the
That is
the
huge.
launch teams?
Greatly. Let's go. So you can see. Don't blow up.
Starship,
You like
landing
the
burn,
engine?
start up.
Seeing three
You
engines.
really? You cannot tell the color of the ship from there. I wonder, was it the heat shield or was it the actual? Okay, hold on.
Yes.
There's a flip.
Yes.
That's the heat shield. Oh my god. That's the heat shield. That's that color. That was all black.
Oh, buoy cam! Get it, buoy cam!
There's a buoy.
You can hear one of the commentators go, "Oh my god!" Boom.
Yes! Yes, that was the best one yet!
Oh. I think buoy cam got destroyed from the ship.
Fantastic!
Oh man, yeah. Farewell, ship 37. Thank you, buoy cam. Landing flip, landing burn.
Okay, I gotta go back.
See the sun from where it's at?
Need to see. Want to see what he thought of this.
The things we get excited about. Oh, we see some movement. And here it goes. The first payload to ever be ejected from a Starship prototype. Intentionally.
Intentionally.
Uh-oh. Don't get stuck there. I think it might have just got stuck there. Maybe? Maybe it worked.
Pew pew. Been waiting way too long to do that. There we go.
Oh, that's just the back of the thing pushing. So that part... Or... Let's see if this one goes a little smoother.
There goes another
There it goes. Oh, that is cool. Oh, that's really cool.
Boop.
A little boop on the door on the way out, I think. Now remember, these are suborbital.
You can hear the energy in both
so they will re-enter.
Starbase.
Okay.
Super excited for
So
finally
see
getting
that,
to deploy some of those simulated satellites.
and then
Throw itself
the
out.
relight.
A lot of it looks crazy going to Starlink.
It's around, what was it, 38?
So I do want to make the for engine
down.
Nice.
All right, looks
There it
like
is.
we confirmed the relight of one of those.
Okay. Let's go back to launch. I want to see, because he has some really nice cameras.
We don't miss anything. So
there it is.
Baby. Yes, come on. And liftoff of Starship Flight 10. Finally, one of the last version 2.
The sound of that.
Lifting off. Beautiful liftoff. Oh my word, that is absolutely stunning. Oh, the diamonds are just hopping today. Oh, and now we're starting to hear it. See, I can see shockwave.
Look at the diamonds.
Coming out of the engines. It is stunning, and it's ascending into bright daylight, reflecting off of it. Again, we're hoping to see a fantastic launch here today, and we're hoping that version 2 Starship finally gets a chance of redemption after 3 failed attempts to get all the way to the Indian Ocean. So
Oh, he does in 4K. Oh, we're going 4K.
yes. You know, sometimes it's bittersweet. Sometimes when we have these scrubs and problems and scrubs, when you, oh man, classic, let's, awesome.
Let's see hot stage. Hot stage. We're gonna see it.
Get ready. Engine still firing. Burn. Putting. Hot stage will be jettisoned for this flight.
All right. What happens? Glowing.
Don't know how
bright.
far ahead is his.
Looks like most engines shut down.
Oh, let's see the shutdown.
We will hopefully see.
The way they shut down are really cool. They do kind of in a staggered. They did lose one engine on ascent. I didn't realize that until I reviewed it after.
Throttle down.
All right. I didn't see an explosion afterwards, so it's looking clean so far.
Miko.
Oh, that's so cool.
Raptors lit up on ship.
Might be down one Raptor on the middle ring there.
That's the same one that was out on launch, yeah.
It splashed out.
So it didn't come back for launch. I want to see did it come back on
just that expected thrust
landing.
In those Raptor.
Let's skip ahead a bit here.
Expected path.
Oh, that does not. Oh, it is cruising. Oh, that does not get old. That is so cool.
Right, so we got a couple of minutes. That landing burn.
Like with the amount of air that's pushing against it, you think it cools down a bit?
Away.
It's actually compressing it as well, so it gets really hot.
Look at the shot, the tracking shot from our team. That is incredible.
That's always rad. You can see the boost plume itself in the background as it's coming in.
Really pushing that thing, angling it.
A little bit ahead of time here.
Right, about 20 seconds to landing burn.
Okay, it didn't blow up on engine ignition. That's, I think, better than last time, pretty much.
Raptor chamber pressure is nominal.
And they're down to the middle engines, likely using one from the.
All right, here we go.
That's cool. Let's pull up. Yeah, I want to see what the engines are doing here. And a simulated engine out.
Looks like
confirmed.
We got 12 of those 13.
Yep.
Down to 3,
and a
including
nice
one in the middle ring.
There it is.
Down to 3, including one in the middle ring.
Hovers and then shuts down and boom. You can see how gentle of an impact it takes. Like the engines just about touch the water and then it pops. You can see there from the first impact, it's just the engines. I missed it again. God damn it. Alright. There's water impact. I could see a bit of metal peel up. Then first explosion. Boom. And then the booster actually stops on the top of the water and falls over.
Yes! That's what they wanted to do, remember. That was the plan.
That should pop a second time,
to
shouldn't
cut
it?
the engines, stop vertical velocity, and then just let it fall, and they did! And it was awesome!
That's sick. That's
Exactly.
cool.
Back in space.
Alright.
About 7
What other
minutes
views do we
into
have?
today's flight.
Let's check. Let's check what other views we got. What has Dan said so far? Let's see what Dan said. Dan's definitely said something. Hey, look at us. Let's go. Alright. Yep. Let's see. Redemption X. Yeah. I'm just going through all the different accounts right now, seeing who said what. That's so cool. Starling accounts probably posted stuff. There it is. Well, I think for now, I think that's all the things we're gonna get. I think we'll have to wait a bit just to get...
What you need is a real ham in your kitchen.
I don't know why I'm getting these.
The other one we saw earlier, that was
Look at
real time.
the
This
tower's getting
definitely slowed
hit.
down at least half speed, judging by how it's going up. He says it's not the server, so it might be that you pull things wrong, Carson. Just saying, and I'm throwing you under the bus here. But it's
the least technological person at NSF throwing somebody under the bus for potentially
right?
getting something
Look,
wrong with technology.
First of all, I'm not really good at technology. Second, it's also a very time critical thing, right? Because as soon as this thing lifts off, we are like, let's
How
pull,
do they track it
pull.
through the
And
smoke?
making errors is common when you try to go fast, right? So Uh, there we go.
Never mind, they don't.
It's not like I'm fully throwing him under the bus. I also understand that, we pull this quickly.
Next
How
orange
did this
when
happen?
it turned orange.
I don't know. It happened. The thing is in pieces in the ocean. And
Anyway, that was something. That was crazy. Let's see. Hold on a second. Please hold. Find some. Let's see. Ba, 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 ba. Go here. Yeah, it actually sounds better than I thought. I'm gonna get DMCA'd for this. Somehow I haven't got my channel taken down. Alright. Well, that was that was something. That really was something. That was worth staying up until 2 o'clock in the morning for. Yeah, that was crazy. Like, good launch, good set, good boost back, good landing, good shutdown, good deployment, good in-space relight, almost perfect re-entry. Almost good re-entry. They had a little pop in the aft skirt section on, I think it was the left side flap. I don't know, but a bit of a explosion in the aft flap section. So that was interesting. That was weird, but it pulled through. Bits were coming off, tiles were coming off during re-entry. It was getting hot in there. It re-entered perfectly fine. They stressed the flaps. Like, usually the flaps are kind of tucked back, but they put them fully out against the atmosphere. Put some stress on them, and they worked fine. That was crazy. That was, yeah. Yeah, they fully stressed the flaps. They stretched them out against the atmosphere. Let's go back to that part of the clip real quick. I'll go back to that if I can find it. Let's see, I have it saved on my phone, the time, if I can find it. The 1 hour mark. Let's see. Yeah, they really stress the flaps out. Like, I switch to this. Is it forward? Is it back? There it is. So they fully stress them out. You can see the atmosphere is fully like parallel to the flaps. You can see it there, and you can see when they deploy them, how much they angle the ship, how much they do forward during re-entry. And then they put them right back out, and you can see the atmosphere starts to, like, building up. Look at that. It starts building up on the flap, and it pushes through that little gap. And they just keep going. They keep hammering at it. This flap is... The flaps are really structural. Like, they can lose a whole mount, and they have 2 more, and they still pull through, and there's nothing to them. Yeah. Like, they stress those things. They lost parts of it. They must have been going a little... must have been rolled a little bit, because it didn't hit the front right. It only hit the front left. So they must have been at a weird angle. But they did it. Every objective happened. Every objective went well. Actually crazy. But that's gonna be it for Flight 10. That was worth... It wasn't worth the wait, probably not, if this happened before. Because there was never an issue with the vehicle. But that's gonna be it. I'm gonna be going, because it's 2:05. I'm not even joking. It's currently almost 2:05. And watch, I'm not gonna sleep. There's gonna be clips being posted from launch, and I'm gonna be watching them. I'm gonna be uploading this. Probably have to clear it from DMCA strikes, because Twitch always does that, and they just clear it. Yeah. But thank you to everyone that dropped by. I mean, the dodgy TikTok stream that's somehow still going, because they took me down for a while. They restricted me. TikTok restricted me because it included unoriginal content, apparently. Let's see. Is there a restriction still here? Nope. Yep, they took it down. Good. But yeah. I'm gonna be going, because it's too late for this. So, thank you everyone that dropped by. Hopefully Flight 11 won't be too far away, because everything went perfectly well. They do have to put that MacGyver mount back on the launch pad to test the next ship. That'll probably happen in the next week. Maybe 2 weeks? Maybe. But yeah. Hopefully it won't be too long. Less than a month, I'd say. Because everything went well. Nothing needs to be changed. And maybe we'll see a booster come back to pad. So thank you to everyone that dropped by. And I will see you, hopefully not too long, because I might do another stream playing DCS or something. Bye-bye. If I can find the scene. Bye-bye.
And I raise a glass for every note, for every distant dream and hope, that it may find the change they seek in their mind. And silent leaves are falling beneath the winter bramblings, fall timely into November tidings. I trample through the chesty smoke with you from the old houses, smell the brush and bramble, see the traffic lights, and bid adieu to all those westward bound students. Beside one I used to pal with, winter consumes this place, gentle remains its pace, and we carry on, oblivious to our swan song. And I raise a glass for every note, for every distant dream and hope, that it may find the change they seek in their mind. And the end finds us too late, removing caps outside the gates of the old halls, neglected all the old songs. But I still see lights, bid adieu to all the old friends and the fools, singing the new songs, away from all my old haunts. The light may fade but never die, there is a place for you and I, quite well known to the artists who have known. And I raise a glass for every note, for every distant dream and hope, that it may find the change they seek in their mind.